We are at the Stanley Hotel for the ghost tour. This is the front. This is a little hedge maze that they made. It's very small.
And the fun begins because I had my little meltdown.
Robert's already feeling anger. We walked through because we had to park behind, and he's already feeling
I had
anger.
like a little bout of rage, and I have not had any rage at any time on this trip, but that was the moment.
So he just picks up a lot of negative energy.
I don't know what the deal was with that.
So this ghost tour is already off. Well, it hasn't started yet, but I'm saying this whole trip might be worthwhile. Because he's already picking up negative energy. So anyway, yeah. So I won't hold anything against him. He's incredibly rude to me today. So the maze is 2 parts, one on each side.
Tall enough someday
I just need to grow, right? So it is Saturday.
You get lost in there. This one's chasing you.
It is Saturday, August 3rd. So it is pretty busy inside of the hotel. They have a couple private parties going on. It's pretty busy.
One of those things I love.
Because Shannon was looking into it months ago.
That's the bar. Looks pretty bad.
What's that?
I said, look at see if it's inside the bar.
We can waltz through it.
You what?
We can waltz through it.
Okay.
Go that way. I need Junior.
If you need cash for whatever reason. I said if you need cash for whatever reason. So which one is a trout?
I don't see any trouble.
I haven't seen a trout either. You have to watch the video ahead of time. Thank you. Now it says 15 minutes. It says 15 minutes.
What's this?
like that's why there are just so many.
So that looks like a private party. Alright, we're back in our room. So the tour lasted about an hour and 15 minutes. Our tour guide was super good. His name was Cody. He had a lot of stories. To me, the tour seemed more like history than anything. He didn't really tell ghost stories. He just told history of the original owners of the Stanley Hotel who built it. Did he really tell any ghost stories?
Yeah, he talked a little bit about the types of spirits you might see.
Oh yeah, he did. And so
And most of them won't touch you and stuff like that. You may see them, the residual energy of them doing the same thing over and over and over again.
so it seems like a lot of the stories is people who are by themselves, like one-on-one. It doesn't seem like anything happens during the groups. But it seems like the employees have a lot of interaction, and guests who stay in the hotel has a lot of interaction. So we're definitely considering coming back in winter or maybe Halloween. They do a lot of Halloween stuff. So maybe one year we'll come back for Halloween and actually stay at the hotel. The reason we didn't stay at this time was they don't have air conditioning. So I'm right off the bat, we were hot, and that kind of...
It got up to 83 degrees here,
which is like 98 in St.
Yeah,
Louis. You think 83 degrees, wow, that's so nice. No, it felt like 98 degrees in St. Louis.
Yeah.
98 degrees. And then...
The sun's just hotter here.
It is hotter. So the hotel, of course, you have your normal guests, and there was a wedding party going on, and they obviously love the 90s, so we got to listen to the Spice Girls and Backstreet Boys. Why this guy is trying to tell us stories, and I'm just like, I'm not feeling the spooky
It was not good
vibe.
It was not a good
Ambiance, that's the word.
The ambiance
Yeah.
was poor.
Yeah.
With the wedding stuff going on.
It was, and then...
It's not his fault.
No, it's not his fault.
The tour guide did good with what he had.
It's a cash grab. That's all it is. It's a cash grab.
It is.
And I didn't have any experiences. Robert said, well, I did. Robert was extremely crabby with me 3 times. Like, he lost his temper with me 3 times. He never does that. And so I kind of felt like it was the hotel. And then
You gotta understand, when I walk into a situation like that, I try not to think about it, but it is draining. And I don't know if anybody else ever has that, quite honestly. I'm sure people do. I just never.
They do. There's a couple on our Zach Baggins video. There's a lot of people who made comments like that.
I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm the only person that's ever felt it. It just, I've never talked to anybody who's ever had it. But I am extremely drained right now.
Mm-hmm.
I am like totally drained. I have no energy at this point. I don't know what happened, but I am totally drained. I just feel like I could just go to bed now.
He's crabby. We were gonna get a drink at the bar afterwards, and he was like, and there was a spot open. He's like, no.
I just wanted to get out of the building.
Anyway, so he said he felt like someone kept touching his shoulder. It wasn't me. I didn't touch him at all till the end. And the tour group, how big do you think it was? Like 15?
Like 15 or
I kind of felt like they should have limited it to 10. There was a little too many people.
There were too many people.
There was too many people. I always stay with my husband. I stay in groups. They weren't really staying in groups. They kept cutting us off. Like Robert thought he was next to me and he wasn't because some lady would sidle up to him, and I'm just, stay with your groups. It was weird. And there was a couple kids that I also didn't think it was appropriate, but what do I know?
We did experience something very strange. We went into a room, and supposedly there's a lady.
Oh, yeah. So the one room, it's Lucy's changing room, and the tour guide's like, the door will close. He doesn't like to go into it, but nothing was happening, so he went into it, and then we all walked out, and like there was absolutely no one in the room, and we're in the hallway, and the door closed. So I could hear it close. I didn't actually see it close, but I totally heard it close, and then
closed.
I kept watching it. Like, we went into the next room, and he was going on about some mirror, and I kept watching that door because I'm like, I want it to open back up.
My thing is the skeptic in me. I mean, I believe all of this stuff. I believe in this residual energy. I believe in a lot of different things, and I know my energy is zapped at this moment. I've got none. I just don't always believe when stuff happens.
Yeah.
Especially when you have one person in a group who is 100% sold on everything that
Yeah,
that
there was
talks about. So I don't know. She was the last one out of that room.
She could have shut the door. She could have shut the door.
She could have shut the door. I mean, I'm not saying she did. I want to believe that
That
it
is
closed
true.
on its own. And
But-
I do know how my energy is sapped when we do these things, but I kind of wonder, is someone helping us along?
Yeah, I think that's a possibility, that because I didn't see it and there was no one else around her, and she kept having stories and showing photos, and this is like the 20th time she's done the tour. So yeah, there, if you want to, what is ghost hunters, they always say debunk it. I can't, it's a possibility that she shut the door. It's a possibility that the ghost Lucy shut the door, or it's quite possible the lady who has done 20 billion ghost tours shut the door because she really wanted to be the center of attention.
Right.
She definitely seemed like the personality who wanted to be the center of attention.
Wanted to be the center of attention.
But, you know, honestly, there was only one couple that was like that. Everyone else, this might be their first ghost tour ever. Everyone was pretty laid back except for that couple. There's always, we've done like 3 or 4 tours, and there's always that one couple that they're the experts. They've had so many things happen. They kept showing their pictures to the, and she was arguing with the tour guide. Because she's like, oh, I saw this ghost, and he's like, well, I don't think that ghost. It has to be this one. No, I think. And I'm like, oh my God, why are you arguing with this tour guide? So
the only thing that I have that I haven't gone through my pictures, but
I haven't gone through. I took about 300 pictures. Robert took about 300 pictures. So when there was this concert room, and when he took a bunch of pictures, and then halfway through, like they whited out.
Yeah,
Like he took a bunch of pictures.
I don't know if you can show it on the camera.
I don't. I'm like, that's not it.
No, but I'm just showing what I was taking
No,
pictures
because
of.
that's the part. It whites out. It doesn't white out.
How do you, okay.
You can't.
Anyway, I took 3 pictures in a row.
I'd have to insert the photos with the clip.
It's totally whited out, and I don't know what could have caused that.
And then the rest of the photos were fine.
So everything else is fine.
And then I think the guy next to us, that happened to him too, because he was showing the lady that recognized the Spice Girls song.
Right.
I think her husband, it happened to him too. So
there
the
is
tour guide did say that the ghosts messed with the photos.
And I 100% believe there's some energy there. I can't explain what that energy is. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know anything about it. But I think I do believe, I don't know if these are people spirits, but there is energy there. And I think the energy is what causes that kind of stuff. And that energy is also the other thing, I think, that takes my energy away.
Yeah.
So I'm not absolutely sure. That's why I didn't want to stay around anymore.
That's fine.
I just feel totally...
I didn't want to spend $30 for a drink. Literally, the drinks at this bar are $30.
Right. It's not even the same bar that they...
No,
did that,
so the Stanley Hotel, Stephen King did base The Shining on his experience here. But the movie The Shining was not filmed at this hotel. But I guess they did a series, and what did he say? It was either 2007 or 97. Right. And that is actually filmed at the Stanley. Like, Stephen King didn't like the original Shining, and so he bought the rights back 15 years later and made the TV series. So I think the TV series follows the book better than the original.
I watched that series.
You like the series?
I like the series.
So I think the actual series is filmed here. And so... Well, I had a train of thought and I lost it. Oh, so you can't record there. You can't record him. I guess a lot of the stories is copyrighted. Because they have a bunch of books published. So he said no video recording what he said. But we were allowed to take 1,000,001 photos. And so we'll flip through our photos. If we see anything interesting, I will add him to the end of this video. So I did like it. I would not do it again. It's not one I would repeat. So far, the only ghost tour we've done that we would totally repeat is the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum in Las Vegas. That's the only one we'd repeat so far. But I did like the hotel, and we will stay. Just not when it's hot, because did I mention there was no air conditioning? The place was so hot.
It was.
And then I think we'll make sure we stay during the week, because they have 400 weddings a year, and weddings are usually just weekends, right?
Typically.
Most of the time.
Right.
So I don't want to get, this wedding was loud, and it's 2019, and they were playing the Spice Girls. That's all I gotta say. The Spice Girls. So it was just, and then one of the rooms we toured was where their buffet was set up, and so they're taking the buffet down. It's making me hungry. He's telling a ghost story while people are in the background pulling food down, and I'm just like, oh my god. So, but I will have to say the guy was really nice.
The guide was very good.
He was very good.
He was very good. He made the experience. If it would have been someone without any personality, I don't know.
Yeah, and he kept trying to scare me. You know, they can tell gullible people. He saw me. He knew I was an easy mark.
He got red rubbed.
He red rubbed me like 20 times.
Yeah.
I was okay. It was all.
The finger movement.
I know he did several times. He's like,
I was proud of him.
that girl, I can get her.
Yes.
You did, Cody. You got me several times. So yeah, it was fine. It's just I don't want to give any. It's only $25. So if you're staying at the Stanley Hotel, do the tour. If you're in Estes Park, do the tour. Just realize
You'll learn a lot.
You'll learn a lot.
You'll
I learned a lot about the movie.
The owners who.
The owners, heck, the Stanleys, like, I just.
They did everything for Estes Park.
They did everything for Estes Park. They invented like light bulbs and the steam car, just all kinds of crap that.
The Stanley.
The only thing, the vacuums, no.
Not the vacuum thing.
That's the only thing they did. Anything with the name Stanley on it, they invented except for the vacuums. That's not them.
That's not them.
They were millionaires. Like back then.
It was a car.
It was a car. So, and they were super nice. And the hotel, actually, the reason they built the hotel was it was a guest house for their famous friends to stay.
And they were all the huge names
Yes.
back in the day. Like, I think he said Rockefellers and.
Yeah, and if you watch the series, they kind of mention that. I think because Stephen King, like, he when he stayed at the Stanley, he talked to a bartender a lot, and they'd swap stories back and forth, and so that's how he knew a lot of history of the hotel, and I think he definitely worked it into his book. So that's it. I'm like so worn out. I am glad that we did it. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling very well. They have tours throughout the day. Do a night tour. Absolutely. Do a night tour.
I think at the night tour you don't get to go to the guest floors.
Yeah, you don't get to go to the guest floors. I didn't care.
We could have went to the guest floors if we wanted to. They say hotel guests only.
Yeah.
But I don't think they know who's in
No,
there.
they don't. They're
don't
just.
know. So you could tour that part if you wanted to, but the night one's better.
Yeah, there are signs everywhere that says this. Don't go past this point unless you're a guest. The night is better. You're not actually going to go into the room. Was it 219 or 217? 217.
Can't remember.
You don't actually go into the room. They just show the hallway. Whoop-de-wow. I was fine that we didn't get to see that.
Because there's people staying in that room.
Yeah, and there was definitely. I was just surprised by how many people. So in our party in the beginning, he asked where everyone was from, and really only 3 couples were on vacation.
Yeah.
The rest were like locals.
They were from Colorado.
So they were, and then I think 2 of them had done the tour before, and then the one lady's was really funny. She's like, "What about the mirror story?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, I don't have enough time." She's like, "Well, that's fine. I'll just piggyback off of a tour tomorrow." And he's like, "You're not really supposed to do that."
So why do people do that? I don't
It's like,
understand.
meaning she wasn't gonna pay. She was just gonna, because she wanted to hear this story.
Where does sense of entitlement come
I know.
from?
And to tell this guy that you're gonna do it, he's like, you could do the tour again.
That's just wrong.
I thought it was funny. See, we got these handy little stickers. They need to change them every day, because otherwise we'll join a tour tomorrow with the same sticker.
Yeah, because I put mine next to my Stanley.
Anyway, they do like the tour every 40 minutes. Ours lasted an hour and 15.
Yeah.
And I think it was only, don't take that off. I'm gonna put that in my journal.
I'm taking it off right now.
Don't take it off. Don't you take that sticker off and ruin it. Give me the sticker. Give me the sticker. All right. See, does it say Stanley Museum on it? At the Stanley Hotel, it does.
Talk about the St. Louis Blues too.
Oh, okay.
Finally.
Robert was complaining because whenever we go to Florida, everyone he always wears St. Louis Blues stuff. When we go to Florida, everyone recognizes the St. Louis Blues, and they congratulate because of the Stanley Cups. And he's wearing his Stanley Cup thing. And yesterday, he was like, how is no one's, commenting on my Stanley Cup shirt?
Some St. Louis people here.
Some St. Louis people are. Because when our flight was full, and they were all going to Denver. And so finally, in the ghost tour, the guy's like, his favorite player is on the Blues. It's Ryan O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly used to play for who before he came to the Blues? Buffalo. And so he's been only with the Blues for 2 years or 1.
And I believe he played a year or 2 for the Avalanche. And I think he's a Colorado guy.
Yeah, he was the Colorado guy.
He said he was happy to see the Blues win, which made me feel good because I thought, that was nice. That was nice. I can't stand the Avalanche, which I'm sorry, but
That's fine. Anyway,
I
he
don't
just
like
was.
the owner, I'm
He made
sorry.
the comment, "How is no one mentioning the Blues?"
Right.
Finally, someone said the Blues. So they have, on one of the shops on the strip is a sports shop. It has all the sports merchandise. Not one single Blues jersey.
Well, no Blues jersey, no Blues anything.
No Blues anything.
They-
But they had, what else? They had everything
They
but
had
the Blues.
everything but the Blues.
It was weird.
Which is funny. 'Cause
This guy
they're
must
the-
not like the Blues.
Yeah,
Because they won the Stanley Cup, and that's a big deal. If you don't know,
and
it's a
they're
big
in our
deal.
division, so I guess.
So
everyone
how can
else
you
is-
have every sports team except for the St. Louis Blues?
I guess it's not popular here. This must be a lot of Coloradoans, and I seen a lot of Texas.
There's a lot of,
license
yeah.
plates too. So.
Yeah, even our rental car has a Texas license
Yeah.
plate. It's like a lot of Texas license plate. I did see a Hawaiian license plate. So for anyone who ever plays the license plate game, I just beat you all because no one ever sees the Hawaii. And I have a picture, and I saw Hawaiian license plate. Robert will not stop.
How
Okay.
does it get here?
Anyone, and let me tell you, anyone who knows the answer to this, tell us. How do cars with Hawaiian license plate get to this area?
I mean, is there like a ship that
To
takes
the
you
other
car?
lower states.
Or is there like some magic?
You take a
like-
ship. There's no bridge.
No, there's no bridge. So it either has to be a
So
jet
how is
or
there?
a ship.
So do they put these cars on ships and take them to the rest of the U.S.? I don't know, but it was a Hawaiian license plate. I'm just, if you've ever played the license plate game, it's like Hawaii and Alaska are the two holy grails.
Yeah.
I have seen Alaska, but I've never seen Hawaii. Now I've seen Hawaii.
I have seen Alaska.
Robert's seen Alaska.
Yes.
So we're now tied for the
We
winning
saw a
of
license-
childhood license plate
We
game.
saw a license plate from somewhere in Mexico.
Oh, we did. We got a bonus point. We saw a Mexican license plate today. I should have took a picture.
Yeah.
Bonus. Okay, I've been rambling enough. So, my review, it was good. Not the best, but it was good. And Cody was great. If you like to learn about history, definitely check out the tour. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Check out my other Estes Park videos. I will have to say, we've only been here for 3 days, but it's been a great trip.
It has.
We're used to going to Florida. This has been a completely different trip, more laid back. We've done some fishing. Just enjoyed
The weather's been phenomenal.
the weather's been phenomenal. But it's kind of funny because Robert's like, oh my God, it's 60. You need to bring jeans. I brought 2 pairs of jeans. I've not worn them once. I've worn shorts and leggings. It's just, everyone's wearing leggings. It's like an exercise convention here. Everyone wears leggings. So even though it says 60, it's really 80.
Yeah, but it depends where you're at. If you're in Estes Park, you're a little bit lower elevation. If
That's
you go
true.
into Rocky Mountain National Park, it can change anywhere from
True,
10 to
because
20
the Alpine
degrees.
Visitor Center, it was freezing.
It was.
Anyway,
It was 50 or below. I mean,
It was 50 or
might have
below.
been 40 something. So.
but only for 5 minutes because we didn't stay at the Visitor Center that long. That's it. Thanks for watching. I've already said all this. See you later.